All right, howdy everybody. Welcome, welcome. It's Friday, and it's time for a new Magic set. Means Slay the Spire takes a little bit of a back seat for a bit, but we've got a another of our crossovers. This one a more major set than our previous, and more extant than our previous. This is the release came out on Tuesday. Uh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Uh, a set that is quite exciting to look at mechanically, and I think on a narrative piece as well. I think it's one that does a very good job with its uh, flavor pieces, cards feeling like characters. Uh, we'll see some more pieces of that as I go through. More of a mechanical overview than a story one. Uh, Avatar here is just based off of The Last Airbender, the animated series from the mid to late 2000s on Nickelodeon, 3 seasons, following. You know what? There's a good 45-second opening to every single episode that'll tell you the earth, water, fire, air elements lived in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked, sort of thing. So, let us indeed get started, because mostly I want to go ahead and touch on the mechanical overview a little more than on this, because that's what has me most excited with this. The flavor overview also does. The Avatar as a show was something that, like, yeah, definitely enjoyed. It has a lot of... That's funny. A lot of different styles of spin-offs. Some stronger than others, some more notorious than others. Going from different live-action films versus... the whole entire series, different animated series. This does not touch on Korra at all. This is all the original series. We don't want extra. We want just the set. Because what I want to do here is I want to take a look at our main mechanics and kind of talk about those to show off what we're looking at with the set. This is a full-size set. We're not doing a small bit like Omen Path / Spider-Man. So our main setup of the set, Avatar, is a world with a basis on these 4 elements: earth, fire, water, air. And if you're not familiar with it, so we have a mechanic revolving around each of those. Starting with let's start with earth, since that's first on our list when I say that aloud. Earthbending is probably our most straightforward mechanic, matching things we've seen before in Magic. Earthbending, as we can see on our captives here, is the control and manipulation of the earth. Staunch defenses, hard offenses. But that translates into Magic as turning lands into creatures and throwing them at your opponent. This matches up with Awaken from our return to Zendikar. I think the best mechanic out of that set, even with that set's... It's funny, thinking about it, this is kind of the, like, better battle in, like, a number of ways. Huh. Because we have Awaken as Earthbending, we've got allies back, we've got... Anyway, but Earthbending turns turns a land into a creature, throws counters on it. Very flexible, incredibly flexible. You don't have to target a land that isn't a creature. So, say you have an ability like, where's a good, Rock-a-Lanch here. Rock-a-Lanch here puts Earthbend X, where X is the number of forests, so you turn a land into a creature and put, if you have 3 forests, you put 3 counters on it. But if you want to do that again with the flashback, you could target the same creature and make a 6/6. Additionally, Earthbending has a kind of an escape clause of when it dies, the land just falls back over. You stop the land as a creature, but it doesn't. It isn't destroyed. So when it dies or is exiled, and the exile is important for some pieces in the set, it just comes back tapped. There's a very good article on the Wizards site by Chris Mooney that talks about the design of these 4 mechanics, and they talk about having that as like an escape clause, so like you don't get owned for like I turn my land on turn 2 into like with Badger Mole Cub here, I turn my turn 2 land into a 1/1 and then get smoked for it. But it also gives it more power with landfall abilities, or with lands that come back into play on their own. If you turn an Evolving Wilds into a Earth-bent land and then sack it for its effect, it'll come back into play. So yeah, Earthbending, the power of the earth, a very straightforward mechanic, but with a lot of fun flexibility. Let's go to water. Waterbending is the second closest to, I think, a mechanic we've seen. Waterbending on this, we see this tap, untap another permanent, or Waterbend 3, tap target creature and opponent controls. Waterbending is something you'll see on activated ability text and as additional cost on certain spells, that you can fully convoke or improvise, tapping any number of creatures or artifacts for the cost. The idea, again, referring back to this article by Chris Mooney talking about like water as a thing is a very wide idea in Magic. It's represented a lot of things. One of the most big is like tapping creatures or bouncing creatures, bouncing things. They decided rather than focusing on the water element piece of it, but more the like the piece of it that is like water bending as a team working together, or also the flow of tapping and untapping, with how this works. It's the one I think that has the most tenuous mechanical connection, but I think in practice looks nice. We see a lot, like it is again very flexible. Using both creatures and artifacts for its cost means that we have things like clue tokens that are around that don't tap for their ability, so you can use those to like push forward, having different ways of having artifacts around for them. We see waterbending. You might think, by the way, I'm gonna mention, going back to earthbending, you might think that like we have 4 elements and 5 colors in Magic. How do we square that circle? The answer there is overlap. Like we have earthbending here in green, and like that is a good chunk of where it's gonna live. But we also have earthbending in red, earthbending in black. Waterbending also works the same way, and even like each of these has kind of crossover in other colors. We have a blue-black card with firebending, which we'll talk about a little later when we get there. But it isn't just set to one color alone. It kind of there's like an obvious central to it, but yeah. So waterbending is generally on activated abilities, but there are a couple cards where it's an additional cost. So going to fire. Fire is the one that is most unique for what it does to like the set requirements, for like what sort of things you need to have available in the set to make firebending work. Firebending, let's go to like tiny one here. Fire Sage is a good example. Firebending is when this creature attacks, you get a red for combat for each point of firebending. they started off like the first obvious idea that comes with firebending is burn, right? Lightning bolts, volcanic hammer, things that are burn spells. That's the second one I come up with. That's the number two. That's number two, Jones. That's anyway. Um, but like printing 100 burn spells is really not a lot of flexibility, not a lot of room for nuance there. So the focus came to be on having it be both an aggressive piece and a generative piece. Uh, in adding actual fire to your mana pool. Uh, this means that because that mana only lasts in combat, you need instant effects. Like the Fire Sages here has its own effect that spends its firebending mana. Um, and so you see a lot more instant speed effects and mana sinks in the set to make use of it. Zuko here has firebending 3 and then an ability that costs 3 you could spend into, or you could spend into something else. Maybe you want to use the flashback on the Fire Nation attacks, which has a huge cost. That's 9 mana, but the idea is like you've got a bunch of firebenders and it's an instant, so perhaps this is something you're doing in the middle of combat and fueling itself with the first activation. Um, I really like the mechanical idea here matching the flavor. Within Avatar, the Fire Nation is the aggressive force that is starting off the conflict. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. They've been on this aggressive war of conquest for a century, so the attacking piece of it is very real. But firebending is not just a aggressive, destructive art, which we see bits of later in the show. It being a creative piece as well. And so it works well with a lot of that. So that's firebending. Firebending, again, red is where you expect it to be like, it's just in red, right? But no, there are, as we saw, it's across a couple different colors. Azula here, as well as, our Rider. There's a couple cards in black that also use it, much like black cards that use waterbending. A few of them, actually. And then the last one is airbending. And as the title of the work, The Last Airbender, might tell you, we just have Aang, who is the only person who is able to airbend, as the airbenders were wiped out at the beginning of that war. But airbending does exist on a number of cards. Appa is our Sky Bison, who can do this as well, and we have a number of pieces that make use of it. Airbending is almost totally in white, with some in blue. But Aang here is a good card to show off airbending. Airbending is again, flexibility is a really a big piece of a lot of this. There are a lot of ways to make use of each of these mechanics. Airbending is a bounce, but in a way that makes it have an alternate cost. It matches some of the last, like the white cards we've had over time, that change spell costs, or what's the Aven? The Aven from Outlaws that like plots a spell, makes it cost 2, or some of the cards that exile cards from hands and changes their cost. The airbending exiles the card and then it costs 2 mana, exactly 2 mana, to recast whatever got airbent. And now this on here, like Aang here, is effectively a mana war. But like with that cost altering, we end up in white. But we see it on a couple other cards, like Avatar's Wrath, where that can be used as an offensive and a defensive ability in a few different ways. Avatar's Wrath bounces every other creature but one, and then prevents your opponent from using them. Yours get replayed for 2, Um, theirs are off for the turn, but will still be 2. Appa also is a protective airbend where, if you use this to bounce a very expensive card to save it, you're only on the hook for 2 mana to replay that card. So if you use that to like protect your Rabaru troop, it comes down for 2. A lot of these mechanics feel like they're bled to or from other colors, but not like a break. Yeah, that's a very true and a very interesting piece about this set, I think, too. Um, but yeah, so those are our main 4 mechanics. We see a lot of, these airbending bits in here. A couple other things that I want to talk about that are either mechanics or pieces of the set that are unique to it. First, we've shown a lot of these, but you'll see the subtype lesson on a lot of the spells in the set. These are a mechanic from Strixhaven the First, where it was paired with another mechanic called Learn that could, from main deck, pull a lesson from outside the game and put it in your hand. And then the lessons had no other text from that. In here, there are no learn effects to pull them. There's just the lessons themselves representing teachings throughout the series from, learning new, things from characters, learning maybe more cheeky lessons like Azula always lies, or ones that are more direct being taught, Aang learning firebending here. Yeah, you gotta have a lot of learning in your kung fu. So there's no learn effect. There's no learn effect in here to pull these in. It'll quench you. This is just the card quench, but it's a lesson, and you will learn when you take a drink. There's no learn in this set. Well, even though I'll be saying the word learn a lot. One, like, that takes a lot of space in a set to have both learn and lessons, and 2, the moment that you put the ability to tutor these cards in your set, you have a huge layer of balance you need to do. I think it's a reasonable expectation that, like, Strixhaven would have some sort of learn cards in it in the future when we have Strixhaven next year. But because all these lessons are not in that limited format, they won't have to balance the limited format around, like, everyone who picked a learn card being able to tutor up this removal spell from their sideboard at all times every single game. You don't build the market problem into your limited format. But what we do have instead are a lot of cards that use or care about lessons. There's a large focus on, the Avatar learning the other styles of bending in order to take on the Fire Nation, but also a lot of characters doing that teaching. So we have a lot of cards that care about lessons in ways either by them being cast or a lot of them by being in the grave as though you've already used them. Boomy here, sets these number of enters bits based on the number of lessons you played. Uncle Iroh here has them be cheaper, as he is always in some way or another teaching. Uncle Iroh here is a good way for me to come up against one of the other things I think is a really interesting feature of this set. And that is having multiple cards for a character. And you might think, well, Slaya, that's not unique, right? Like, weren't there a million clouds in Final Fantasy? Yes, but in the main set, there was only one cloud. There was actually only one card for every character in the main set. We have done this in the past where we have multiple cards representing a character at different points in the story. Gandalf had, 5 different Gandalfs? Based on the different timings of Gandalf over the Lord of the Rings. And in Edge of Eternities, we had a pair of cards for our main cast representing them kind of at either the beginning or before their journey and after. So it's something we've done, but it's more of a focus here because, The Last Airbender, Avatar, is a smaller story with a more focus on its cast. And because it's a story with a smaller story that we can go at a beginning, middle, and end, we can go from, you know, our different our characters across different moments. We have Uncle Iroh early in the series, who's a firebender that's teaching Zuko as Zuko is on this journey to try to regain his honor and capture the Avatar. Uh, in the first season, in the second season, we have Uncle Iroh who's hiding in the Earth Kingdom with Zuko there, uh, still running a tea shop, and so we have a different set of abilities for Iroh there, and then culminating in Iroh at the end of the series, where he's leading the White Lotus uh, in fighting back the Fire Nation in the end, along with the rest of the White Lotus members. We see that across a lot of characters. Azula is another really good one, looking at like an evolution of a character. We start with Azula 4. Azula in our early season 2, hunting down the Avatar, following these clues, like, okay, like is very much like on the hunt is a great descriptor. Um which goes to, so using that, this is using that firebending to use clues. This goes to Azula at the end of season 2, where Azula is playing more of a behind the scenes role in taking over the Earth Kingdom, taking the Earth King as a hostage and such, which is our representation there, still with the firebending too. Uh, Leading to the end, where we have Fire Lord Azula at the end of season 3, who is much more crazed and much more unhinged. Still firebending too. I think a fun bit of like, she's stayed strong but the same throughout. But we have that for a lot of characters throughout, and I think that makes for a really like fun uh, narrative 1, 2, 3. We tend to gain a color on a lot of these too. Uh, where we had hybrid Iroh, 2-color Iroh, 3-color Iroh. And so that's a running thing with these two. I like this a lot. I think it makes for, like, I think it makes great sense for a narrative piece here. I know it could be a little bit I think it's best when it's for a narrative piece here. Sometimes if you have 2 or 3 of these and they seem too similar, that can cause issues. But the like color piece and moving along in a story helps a lot. The last thing I want to touch on is allies. Yeah, a lot of creatures are just a lot of creatures have ally as a creature type. Ally is the type we had in Zendikars, across as a type with mechanical benefits, where you played an ally and all the allies that you had would gain a counter, things like that. We just have that a lot in here as Avatar and Friends is kind of our representation here. Not too much more than that, but like something to call out because we are going to see it. Cards that care about that and such. So, was there anything else I wanted to touch on before we move on in? There's a ton of really unique, fun cards in here as well that like we'll get into, and when we look at the before we jump into the draft, we'll look at the different draft archetypes. But I think that is all the. We have sagas as well, doing their incredible piece of storytelling. I can't look at this one without. Yeah, okay. Uh, I hadn't realized that we didn't have sagas in we'll go with Cave of Two Lovers in Edge proper, but like here they're used for a couple different stories. Cave of Two Lovers secret tunnel. But they're also used for a great cycle of uh, of historic characters, of older avatars and such. Uh, the Legend of Roku, and we have one for a number of our different previous avatars, as well as another like character from the past, which is I like sagas as a historical thing like that. They are a historic card type, so yeah. There's a cave, yes. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. But yeah, that I think touches on everything I wanted to touch on. We're gonna get to see how this plays, what sort of pieces we've got. There's a couple. There's their own cycles as well across different uh, colors and pieces that we'll see and characters we'll get to meet. Um, but there is someone called out the Great Divide. We do have a we got the guide. There is a at this point a little more notorious bonus sheet we'll be seeing throughout the draft as well. Though I think it's at a rate of like one per draft about that are reprints of cards, but with screenshots from the show as the art piece. Uh, the idea here was that they wanted to have a card for every episode, uh, and each of them representing like the empty city ruse here is that getting pulled on them as they do their attack during the eclipse, things like that, where we'll have a few odds and ends cards coming through as a rarity on our bonus sheet. There's a Three Dreams one. That's very funny. Hey, my name. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. But and some of these I think are very good, and some of these maybe a little less so. Cruel Tutors, the notorious one. I think they're the weakest point of the set. There is a card for the cabbage guy. Yes. There's also a completely unique set of Jumpstart cards for this set, and there's our which has a lot of another printing for a number of characters or unique cards for characters who maybe didn't get a card in the main set. Yeah. So we won't be seeing those. Those are over in Jumpstart, which is its own fun thing. I really like Jumpstart as a thing within Magic. I can close up this now. I don't need that. Let's go ahead and get into the draft. We're not going to start immediately because I want to take a look at our archetypes. We've got... It's blue-white. You know it. You love it. It's flying. Everybody loves blue-white flyers. Classics of archetypes. We've got Aang and friends being able to fly around. We have a lot of... that's another bit. I guess we'll see it as we see it, but like... Avatar as a series has a fun bit about like these silly animals that will but like silly hybrid animals, but also like learning from the animals too. Draw 2 on blue-black is a use for the clue tokens that we saw, as well as bits like looting and bits like that. We've seen this as a red-blue archetype in the past, as well as this. Works pretty well with looting effects and a lot of things that like just keep you with flush with cards. Red black is rather is not our standard Rakdos, but rather the like aggressive Rakdos that will be using firebending for tricks in combat or cards that you wouldn't usually be playing there. The Gruul is using earthbending, both with ramp and with the ability to make big 4-power creatures. The Earth Rumble. Green-white is playing in on the ally plan. That has a pretty good, a good amount of tokens, little 1/1s that get made by a number of cards, but also support pieces for allies as well. Black-white sacrifice kind of hits more on like the hellish side of the conflict. I think of Tolls of War as it's got a silly skeleton, but it's got a very sad skeleton on it too. But it's a sacrifice theme. A lot of cards that are, when you sacrifice something, doing a thing that's backed up by a lot of clues and food, as well as sac effects. It has lessons as its big thing, cheap spells, and counting lessons in the grave for your martial prowess. We will see literal prowess. Black-green works with 1/1 counters. This works with earthbending because earthbending puts 1/1 counters on lands. But also, I'm sorry, the early kingdom. Did that get auto-corrected? Or is this a portmanteau of the early game and the early kingdom? Because like there's one that's like the long game up here. I think that's most likely somebody just. Anyway, red-white uses those ally tokens for a much more of a go-wide plan. A lot more aggressive pieces for that. And then, boy howdy, it's Simic. What's it doing? It's ramping. But it's also doing, caring about lessons for a lot of its late game big plays. So, alright. Let's go and jump on in. Cactuar is having a new adventure. I'm excited. What do I want to be doing? I kind of want to see what, like, being heavy in on, like, firebending mana sinks does. Let's just ride the waves. Alright. Our first... This card whips. I love Walls of Bussing say so much. This is a giant 0/30. Okay, alright, okay. I don't know that I want to pick that first. That's a little, That's the wall! The wall! I don't think I'm here for an 8-mana wall. I mean, I understand it's an 8-mana. I know it's exciting. I'm excited by it too. Let me tell you, it kind of sucks. Azula copies spells. Earth Kingdom General, Earthbend's 2 on play. Path Redemption is a very fun pacifism. Committing to 3 colors right away is a bad idea. Let's do it. Enter the Avatar state. This is one of my favorites as far as a flavor piece goes because it's an incredibly strong trick. This is a trick that's like, oh shit, this happens in combat, and it's just like, here you go, shoot, 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 flying first strike, lifelink, hexproof. But like, it doesn't auto in a fight, and it doesn't. It is counterable. Swamp Snare Trap, Cunning Maneuver. Cunning Maneuver is the kind of thing I like to see. Azula, another Azula. Right, play Lightning Bolt in response to this for the most on-point move. We can just be Azulas. Azula, what's the plural of Azula? I suppose that doesn't come up. White Lotus here is a land for lessons. And there's a set of shrines. I didn't mention them, but there's, it's one-offs. Crashing Wave. Wolfbat. these are the bats from the secret tunnel. Snowballers, tap a thing. This is a colorless kill spell. Oh, I love the art on Zuko's Exile. That's really cool. Treetop Freedom Fighters, a pile of bodies. And this is a clue if you've been attacking. Crashing Wave taps creatures and like you can stun any number of them. Thinking between the Wolf Bat and the Freedom Fighters. Let's go with the Wolf Bat. Okay, Scavenger, another Wolf Bat. Vindictive Warden? This is a thing that pays off firebending really nicely because it's got this outlet for all the mana from it. Solstice Revelations there's a cycle of basic land likers. Ooh, I like Airbending Lesson a lot. This I think is a really strong, like, flexible card. One more bats. One more bats. Let's rely on the bats. Earth Ruffian, Honest Work, Porcupine, Fire Nation Raider. Okay, this makes a 2/2 land when it dies. Big Rock. This flips on the Waterbender. We just take the Honest Work. You want the blue or the red? What's going to be the splash for Azula? And, like, we need things that are instant speed for Azula to take advantage of. So... Porcupine is a boar porcupine. That's also a weird. I'm gonna believe in staying on the black here, and we'll see if the red keeps coming. Diley Agents, Earthbend 1, then Earthbend 1. Actually, many hats. How to start a riot. You also can pick up the journey here. Hey! Riot! Kind of interested in the Diley Agents. Yeah. Taking a look at black-green. You don't always play your first pick. And Journey is just a better environmental sciences, it's true. I'm gonna pick up this Badger Mole. This is a lot of 1/1 counters around. Another Badger Mole, Messenger Hawk. Tolls of War is really strong. This is a piece that works really well with the sack effect because it gives you both sides of it, the fodder and the effect. I'm gonna believe in Badger Moling. And kids, Rowdy Snowballers, Platypus Bear. This is the thing that likes my cabbage. Let's get some curve going better. This curve sucks right now. Oh, this is waterbending on a green card. That's cute. +2/+2 reach on tap. I tend to not like trying to make 3-color legends work because, like, even 2 colors I think is a big ask in a draft. I was interested in going into this on like black, blue, splash the red, but we need to find this curve is awful. We need to fix it. I would like a couple more pieces with like thinking of 2 drops. Yeah, we got the Corrupt Court Official. That'd be good. You know what? This is fine. This is Monk's Fists. Alright. Jasmine Dragon Tea-Shop is allies and makes an ally. Earth Rumble, Earthbend 2, and then Fight. We got the belt. Fire Nation Engineer, 1/1 counter, Monkey. These captives are... Audience? This actually might be the piece I want with a lot of our top end going on here. I know the Earth Rumble would be pretty nice, just as like a nearly an FTK, actually. This is actually pretty good, I think, like with the FTK possibilities for it. I think this is a pretty key part for the deck, though. I think I'm gonna need these to go top end. Court Official, Serp of the Past is pretty big. This is another lesson liker. Big koi. Rockalanch, if we're going more green. Corrupt Court Official, if I just want some things to fill out. This is a absolutely fine card for the low end. Hey, Bye is also pretty fine. 1/1 counters. We do have 1/1 counter likers, and this makes use of and moves them around. It's not bad. I think it's between these three. We'll go with the Rockalanch. The Boulder. Ooh. Hello. Zool always lies is +1/+1 and -1/-1 with the counter sticking. Here's some of that prowess I mentioned. Another Vindictive Warden. This is a card I think I want one of in the deck at some point. This thing's huge. Goddamn. Yeah, let's put the Boulder in here. Northern Air Temple, I think, is Drain 1, and Drain equal to Shrines. Jelly, more airbending lessons, Badger Moles. I really like Knowledge Seeker, and I think Lost Days does some really interesting stuff in this set. Specifically because some of the bounce is really powerful against Earthbending. Earthbending will go back into play if it's exiled or killed, but if it's bounced, then you're just behind. June, huh? Okay. Also, Cycle of Renewal. This is, Cycle of Renewal is actually really nifty. This is a card that makes use of our, Earthbending, because if you sack an Earthbent land, it'll come back. So this becomes, like, a really huge ramp. Get some of this, we get some of the card draw off of this, and get some of the early, again, Lightning Strike, as you may expect. Is a card in here. I like the Knowledge Seeker again there, too. Alright, but... so many... What does Ostrich Horse do? Wow. Yeah, actually. Okay. That's kind of nifty. Mill 3. So it's either a 3/1 that grabs a land or a 4/2. This thing's good as hell. Always exciting to see, this style of card in my mind. The you know, liker of tiny spells. Meteor Sword, yeah, I passed over Meteor Sword, but Meteor Sword as a Meteor Golem is really cool. Also, here's a... grab a Merchant of Many Hats. What does the monkey do? Okay. I think we fixed up the curve problems. Now I just want to get a few more interactive pieces. I've passed a couple removal spells, and we kind of want to have stuff like that for our deck to be functional at the end of the day. This is fine. This will work with both sides. Some of the 1/1 counter likers and the Daily Agents, and some minor pieces of interaction for small stuff. Win a combat a couple ways. Yeah. A lot of Badger Moles. Alright, let's take this. Ty Lee. This is Ty Lee at the end of the Boiling Rock. You can see there, or the air temple again. Another knowledge seeker. I wish I would have just picked every knowledge seeker I saw. That would have been really good. Origins of metal bending. This is a wow. Damn, naturalize. It's also the cool combat trick. I actually like that. Fine with that. Zhao here. Sacrifice Liker. Keep that in mind. Like a lot of what I've seen for blue. This is so far outside of what we're doing. Green black. Whenever you attack, make a boulder. Sure. It's a free sacrifice trigger too. I don't hate that. Warship. The Moonslayer. I love this card. I love the direct callback to the Blood Moon. I love the card also being a functional card on its own. It's like almost a chocobo. Swamp Visions. This one's a funky one. This is revive any number of creatures, and then they don't gain haste. They just come back for one turn. Okay. If somebody wants an overrun, it's like a not great overrun. Yeah, this one's like, yeah, come to play effects. We have a couple trample givers. I'm gonna grab one copy of an over. Okay, I don't think we want the tutor, but like, each creature controlled power 4 or greater can be blocked by one. Put one counter on each creature you control. I'm more interested in this. This is a very tiny buddy here, Callous Inspector. 1/1 with Menace that makes a clue on death and pings you for one. This is a good, like, placeholder. Ooh, yeah. We Cat Gator. Cat Gator Gaming. We also have Boomy here, but I don't think we have a lot of lessons for Boomy. I like this Walltop Sentry as well. This thing, like, does a lot of work. Reach Death Touch is a great combination. I'm a Cat Gator. Kyoshi Island is grab 1 land. We only have, like... I'm gonna grab the Walltop Sentries. I talked about wanting one of those. This is grab lands equal number of shrines you control, counting itself. And then every shrine you play grabs one after. I only want one. Okay, we can have a couple Walltop Sentries. That'll be good for holding the world down for a while. I'm not super in. Goddamn. Sometimes you just see it and you're like, well, I wonder what colors. It's fine. We're not really here for what could have been. We're here for what is. Alright. We'll do some cutting this down, getting some of our most powerful pieces in here. We definitely want to be throwing... We should have got the wall for these sentries. Probably. Azula isn't something I ended up playing. We ended up moving off of that because I liked what the green I saw. I like the idea of having the overrun here as a way of having a board breaker. Let's make sure that this is a deck that can make use of, like, some hefty, long-term board breaking. Zula, Cat Gator, Metal Bending, Walltop Sentries, Badger Moles, Ellie Agents, Earth Ruffians. I might want to be playing Zuko's Exile. Rockalanche is going to be fine. Evasion tactics. Yeah, I'm a little worried about this, like, with the one moose lion and, like, an ostrich horse? I already have 2 badger moles. I think we'll be able to have enough huge bodies to be getting things done, and I don't know if we've got enough, like, pieces that reach out and do stuff against our opponent. Gonna put the Rumble Arena in here because it has vigilance. Why does land have vigilance? Well, you know. Could be anything. Oh, I think I actually am going to try and fit this in here. Zulin the Hunt's good. Boulder's good. Vegemol. Invasion tactics, I don't care about that ally piece. I care a lot more about the like, trying to, like, use this as a way combined with Badger Mold to just get over our opponent. Seven Swamp, 8 Forest, that fine for our basic likers. It means they're not, like, Cat Gator's kind of gonna be bad. I think it's fine for Rockalanch, because Rockalanch is gonna be, like, if this is 2 on the front face, it's like 2 and 3 or 2 and 4. The back face is free enough. Cat Gator, though, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it anyway, but like, they are made to be more of the monocolor payoff. I understand that. Try this as is. I think if this has a major weakness, it's like us passing up on a couple of the kill spells. We didn't see any sellouts, but we did see a couple of the snares that are the -5, -3. And I think those are pretty fair. Let's give it a roll. Alright. Okay. It's slow. Okay. Well. These duels have text. Sure, okay. That's neat. Yeah, that's probably the one you discard on turn 2. Well, let's get the trebuchet down. It effectively has haste. Our opponent has missed a land drop. That's a bit tragic. Okay, found land 3. Firebending 1, exhaust. Put a 1/1 counter when you next cast a lesson this turn. Okay. This behind me is the, blue, the like, Edge of Eternity's, funky friend. Okay, they found their land, so they're moving. Zhang, I will trade off with the wall-top sentries. They have to spend the mana on it, or a trick, because we have Death Touch. Zuko, okay. Well, they're certainly not going in against this. Okay. Sure. I'll hold that up. So this is like 4 mana in the middle of combat? That gets pretty tense pretty quick, huh? Okay. So Origin of Metal Bending gets to be a anti-removal spell, anti-combat. Goddamn, alright. That's gonna get going real spicy real quick. These Ascensions are like the Zendikar ones. They go up as you do stuff, and then once they hit enough quest counters, they're on. This is attack triggers. So much mana. Try it this way, see if they've got like a trick for us. Clearly I want to use Origin of Metal Bending. I'm sorry, it still has the exhaust pipe exhaust noise. Alright. So this is nice for us. We're gonna get to break this pretty nicely. Okay, that looks good for us. I'm pretty happy with that outcome. I'm gonna get the bat going. I know I don't want to attack with the wall top sentries because I want to have a death touch threat backing us up. But the wolf bat comes with a fire trebuchet, and that should feel pretty good. So they're gonna start getting double fire on attacks. Though they have to run their board in to do so. I'll block this way if they have a trick. Okay, they don't have a trick, they just wanted to make some more firebenders. That makes sense. Okay, a lot of firebending. A devotion variant in this set? I don't know what you're talking about there. Sorry, I got nothing for you. There might be a card that cares about, like, there might be a card that's a devotion bit. What was that? There are these that care about our land count. Alright, they've got a ton of mana because they're going to get doubled up by the Fire Ascension. They're going to get so much mana off of attacking. Secret, tunnel, secret, tunnel. Okay, I'm gonna push here. I want to go... I want to go on the offense. Okay. Okay. So we have Trample. We have Trample Touch over here. And now we get one of the 2 last cards out of our opponent's hands. We know they're live. Okay. They were missing land drops, so we know that the corrupt court official was going to grab something real. Love what our opponent's doing, by the way. The Firebender's Ascension is double your attack triggers, so it'll double the firebending effect. But, like, imagine the double up with Zuko. That's the real killer here, right? Because if you firebend 6 and then you have, like, the play off the top, they also have a bunch of copies of Fire Nation attack here with, like, the rebuy and more firebending. I can see exactly what their deck is doing. I think that's neat. I think that hiccup was too much. They missed that third land drop, and that, like, really hurt. We were able to be a little too set up before they were able to be aggressive if they didn't miss that. Okay. This looks nice. We've got ramp. We've got ruffians. June can eat creatures for clues. Okay, black over here. Black, white, okay. They've got their own June. Let's go... Ruffians. The idea here is that if they have a kill spell for the Ruffians, I just go ahead and make that forest active. If we draw an untapped land, we're good, so... Alright, gonna play defensive. June here is pretty powerful because they can sack the Ruffians to make a land on it, and then they'll sack the land, and the land will come back, and the land comes back tapped. Pirates. Ooh, that's a good sack liker. Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's get rolling. This thing's pretty cool when you sack a permanent, +1/+1 counter on it. So, we've seen a lot of effects like this. This one's very specific. The death touch on it gives it a better fail state. Okay, sure. Kill spell there. That's fine. We're in the same spot as we were last turn. I want a... There we go. So let's go ahead and Badger Mole. Alright. The Beetle-Headed Merchant. This thing eats a creature to draw. Okay. We can do... Cat Gator for 3? I would like to hit that Beetle Merchant for that much, but I don't think we've got that. June is definitely good to get down. Oh, this is cute. These are the lanterns from Tales from Bossing Say. Yeah, this seal's really good. I'll be honest. I'm getting in with the Badger Mole. Okay. Well. Let's play June and pass. We have a Death Toucher, and that actually should head off the Beatles. They've got 6 mana themselves, 3 cards left in hand. Tolls, this is gonna make a lot of 1/1s real quick. That's pretty good. I think I value my metal bending trick more than I bat. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So they get to eat a clue. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. This is where things are gonna start getting spicy fast. Do I want to save this? Are they gonna eat it? They could eat it with June. I think I'm gonna save the trick. We're just gonna crash. I think June has to go, now that I'm looking at this board. June's gotta get eaten by a cat gator. Alright. Rest in peace. Eaten by a cat gator. Yes, this card's very strong. I want to trade with these pirate peddlers because the pirate peddlers are the things that are going to get out of control too quickly here. And we don't have a lot of removal, we just have big bodies. They don't have a sack outlet anymore. We've removed that. But they have fodder and payoff. They just don't have the sack outlet. Hopefully we have a way around that. Kill spell for Badger. Okay, that just kill spell for Badger. That's great. Moose Lion will do work there. Let's push in like so. Okay. Alright. 7/7 reach. So we can also cycle this Corrupt Court Official, and, like, we can... They've been missing land drops, so we hopefully we'll be sniping a real card. I think that's kind of the plan, is Corrupt Court Official, eat it. Okay, they've just got 1-for-1 removal for days. We're at 26, though. We can afford hits. Daily Agents. Ooh. That's really good. That's, like, really good. So, Corrupt Court Official, get a card out of them. Probably a... Okay. And then... Daily Agents are going to turn on some lands. And then we'll have a lot of things for June to be able to eat. Also, whenever Daily Agents attack, it's number of creatures we have with 1/1 counters, so... Alright, last card in hand. We got metal bending up too. That's perfect. Alright. Let's go ahead and move in. I think I want to make June unblockable. We'll see. So, this is Drain for X, where X is the number of 1/1 counters, 1/1 countered creatures, not 1/1 counters on creatures. Oh, I'm so sorry about the timing. I'm so sorry about your choice of timing on that one. That adds a 1/1 countered creature, so we get an extra point of damage, right? Yoink. Alright. The idea here is that June is going to be our way of getting through for lethal damage. Okay. Here's more fodder. What's your last card? Ooh, hey bye. Okay. That is a good last one to have. That's big, and it will start triggering the rest of your helpers here. Okay. We're not going to crack this clue. Ooh. We're going to crack it now. The boulder. Okay. I'm going to decline to get the 1/1 counter on it. All right. So this is representing a lethal threat next turn? Yeah. Thank you, Diley agents. They had a really nice setup for the sacrifice pieces. They had a lot of the they had the inputs, they had the outputs, but we were able to cut them off of the sack outlets. Thank goodness. If they kept June around, I don't think we could even come close to winning that game. I'm pretty sure everything in Ba Sing Se is fine. Thanks, Catgator. Oh, we had just built the Wolf Bat. We'd be able to recur that too. That's fun. That's a fun synergy. Yeah, I think if they kept that sack outlet, we were extremely hosed, because they could effectively turn a 1/1 counter into a 1/1 token into a 1/1 token and a clue, and a 1/1 counter on the pirates, and then sack the clue to draw and stifle. Alright. Yeah, this one's awkward. This one's really awkward. I love the tiny figures in here. Look how tiny those figures are. Alright. Oh, God! Oh, no! Alright. Let's get smoked. It's fine. Vigilance. Yep. So they ramped to 4. Yeah, our seats are pretty bad. Shared roots? Go grab a land? This is just rampant growth. It's just rampant growth. It's very cool. Alright. We're gonna kill you with bats. That's my plan. Bat, trebuchet, invasion tactics. That's the play. It's just kill you in the air. Here's the plan. They missed the land drop. Keep going. Bats, bats, we are the bats. Uh-huh. So the overrun we have can't overrun the boulder. That won't work. But it's close though. Okay. We're gonna take like 10 here, and we need to somehow not die. Okay, that's a lot of damage. We're at 3. Oh, the taps are 2! Help! Okay, okay. I have... we're trying. Okay, it's fine. I think we have an overrun. The overrun's the win con. I think we're dead on the board. I think they found out that we're dead on the board. Well... Ah. Elmet, thank you very much for the sub. 100 sub! 100 months passed, my brother and I discovered a new avatar. Everyone named Egg. All his skills are great. He has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Hank can save the world. Is removal still good and limited? Let me think on that one. Bill Tree. Yeah, okay, I'm in. This actually looked pretty nice. I'm trying. So what does this set have for rats? It has Aang's Airbend Everything, which is a really wildly good card. Sozin's card is a Wrath. Ooh, this would be a nice spot to fit this in. Azul always lies, or metal bending to save, and we can kill off this inspector. They might just kill off our bounty hunter. I'd love it if they waited. Alright. Make a clue. Push in. Check it out. I'm in the house. Like carpet. That's still like a 0 for 1. But we got the board. Which I think is important. Game doesn't want me to play Azula. Maybe we're getting quenched. Is it the quenchiest? It is the quenchiest. Okay. Understandable. Okay. Alright. It's Bats time. It's Bats time for you. Ooh, okay. June's good. June fits with the draw 2, with the unblockable. June fits with the sack outlets. June fits with the firebenders for giving you something. Oh shit! This makes these spirit world tokens that are, they have shadow, spirit shadow. Can't block or be blocked by non-spirits. Hey, no, thanks for the raid. All right. Get that trebuchet going. Chuck, rock. Rock successfully chucked. How's the anthology been going? We're currently throwing bats at our opponent. They have a lot of card draw, but not a lot of board presence. A lot of mana, too. Are you gonna play Sozin? Oh, you're about to wrath. Oh, no, you're just going for a -2/-2. That's cute. So the Daily agents here are going to be draining. We have the metal bending origins. Okay, sure. And their own trebuchet, you say. Let's get a 4/4 going. So if they have a kill spell, we're ready. Obviously, the clue means they've got a little bit more in the tank. Totally lost my land? Oh, ooh. Nah. I think this has totally lost my land. Interesting. What the hell's this? Make a spirit. So these spirits can't block. They can only block spirits. These are forests. Okay. 9th land. Rockalanche is almost on again. Holy shit. Okay. Return target the basic boomerang cannot stop the forest. No, they couldn't have. That's only the basic boomerang. You need you need more advanced boomerangs. Damn. Nature will rise against you. I love the play of bouncing your own spirit. It's been a fun one. Again, like I said, it's light on the interactive pieces, but like we're having the different reach of earthbending stuff has been really cool. I'm gonna quick step away. I'll be right back. All right, let's make it happen. Time for continuing to throw rocks. We're missing some of the more powerful pieces. Oh, okay. I'm okay with this. Rumble Arena can fix up, and Horse Ostrich will also grab a land. Callous Inspector also is a really good one. Nice and aggressive. Gets us a clue for later. Just a great card. Oh, there's a green. I'm gonna save the Scry. Okay. So we've got Menace. We're going to play the Ruffians here, because the Ruffians trade a lot better with anything. Like, just in combat, we can fight this. They need 6 to rev up the engines. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. That was Corrupt Court, Metal Bending, Invasion. Alright. Don't want the bat right now. I want 5th land. Alright. Push in. So this thing gets a 1/1 counter when an ally comes in. It's also got... Ah, there's 2 allies. This is gonna get dicey very quick. So they won't attack because Ostrich Torch can trade, but that can only happen for so long. I think they're gonna be able to build a better board than we are. That's terrifying. Okay. That's effectively a land out of their hand. I'm gonna leave up Azula Always Lies here to try to snipe the Avatar enthusiasts. Oh, do they have Katara? They've got 3 colors. They discarded their fixing, which they are playing. Okay, alright. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you got it, boss. Let's make this ostrich horse big enough to threaten them. Maybe they won't take the attacks as cleanly. If we've got, like, nice trades here. If we can... Nah, alright, okay. First things first. Opponent's life total is 15. Can't quite make it. Oh, they're gonna draw a card off this. The reason I put one on this choke, on this definitely not chocobo, is to try to, like, stave off this. Like, putting the counter on other places would maybe do similar bits, but, like, this is trying to stave off these enthusiasts. Take 9? I think Corrupt Court Official needs to stick back and block. 6th land. Badger Mole hands off Trample. We can leverage that. Okay. Alright, I'm fine with just chumping this. Okay, that's Bender Water, so that'll untap every turn. Interesting. I like that. Go in with the Horse Ostrich? Go in with the Horse Ostrich and the Earth Ruffians. Not with the Badger Mole. I think they've got a trick. Okay. That's fine. Yep. Okay. So that'll trample 2. Now the question is, do I want to go in on the Rumble Arena or go wider? If I go wider, that gives me like a chump blocker. I think that might be more effective. Alright. I'm probably saving that clue to make June unblockable. Opponent's at 5. They only have 1 real card left. They can use the Rebellious Captives to make a 4/4 and Earthbend too. Yeah. So that's probably the move. I don't know that they can attack, though. Alright. can't play the Saber Moose, so let's go ahead and... get in. Yeah, we don't have double green. Rumble Arena could filter for it, but this is only 6. This'll do it. If Rumble Arena dies, by the way, we get the Scry one again. So it's a good chump blocker, if need be. Opponent's on 3. Oh, it's so close. I think I'm gonna chump with the Rumble Arena. It'll scry. Okay. I'm good with that. That's actually a good draw, I think. Yep, there's the Katara. So now they're double counter. All right. Okay. Badger Mole, Cub, Earthbend, another. They get to draw a card, which is the main thing they're doing this for. Because if they can draw a kill spell for June, they're here. Oh my god! Oh. Hey, Bosco. Holy shit. Oh. We're leaving. Look, your victory condition, my victory condition is finding the Avatar. Your victory condition is killing me. One of these is so much easier. By the way, this card costs 4. I just like to note that this card is extremely good. Like, this is a 4, like, we get a bear, and oh my god, look at our bear token. But like, also, whenever you attack with any number of 4-power creatures, you get that many lands. So, very good card. Like, easy first pick if you see that in a pack, I think. Well, we won the game with 1 creature. That was the last creature we needed. Holy smokes. It's good. It's good. It's good. Just a bear. Just a bear. We're on the draw. Revving down the engine. Land draw is 15 out of 33. 9 of those 15 are black sources. We are on the draw. I would not keep this on the play. Pretty simple, you just draw the swamp. Fire Nation Cadets. This one's pretty cool. Firebending 2 if you have a lesson in the grave, and it also has one of the only instances of a fire breather. Oh, this is some dangerous shit right here. Oh, God. Alright. Oh, no! Oh, okay. Alright. We're cruising. We're moving. We're getting in. Give me a card, please. Oh, if they... This actually is probably a bad idea, right? Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I've made a mistake. Wait. No, 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 no. The lesson is... the cadets will get you for paying your... We have learned a lesson. We've extremely learned a lesson. Are we getting quenched? Okay, it's fine. Quench is a good lesson to learn, too. Our current lesson is I'm holding back 2 blockers. The boulder is in this set. We have one in the deck. The boulder is a very straightforward earthbender. Big and powerful, and 2 cards left? Oh. Oh boy. That's fine. Wall top sentries. Please keep Zuko out. Fire Nation. And, yeah. I love, by the way, Saka's Haiku here. You should read this. Counter target spell. Draw a card, then mill 3 cards. Untap target land. Is it funnier if it is a haiku or if it isn't a haiku? Help! I'm getting smoked! The Fire Nation continues to attack! We're getting extremely cooked! Levels of demolished I haven't even heard of over here! I think it's better as a joke with it correct, personally. But I wanted to pose the question. Holy shit. Our opponent rules, by the way. I just need you to know this. Our opponent is just the most powerful Fire Nation. Okay, alright, okay. Alright. It's fine. We just trade with them. We're gonna win because they're out of cards. We gotta fight the entire Fire Nation out here. Are they just gonna pay you draw? Yep. 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 Getting so cooked out here. These kids, I tell you. We're going to play the Wolf Bat because the Wolf Bat is a better thing for us to be trading with. Azula kind of sucks because Azula's going to kill us for playing Azula. So, we got to worry about that. But now we can trade. We can just trade, and the Fire Nation cadets will finally stop kicking my ass. And Azula hits you for... You lose a life and get a clue. And you can... So Azula's sort of a Phyrexian arena. Because you spend the 2 fire breathing, just eat the clue or something else. So they can draw a card here. They have the land to sack. Cool thing, if you earthbend that land and then sack it, you can get it back. Okay. Alright. But have you considered... Bat 2, the sequel to Bat? I don't think you fully considered Bat 2, the sequel to Bat. Okay. If any Fire Nation cadet gets through, we die. So that can't happen. They have 2 cards now. Okay, land in, land out. Azula, get in here. Okay. This is the most tenuous position in the world. Oh, God. 1 card in hand. They can sack the land again. Get another one. Azula off the hunt. It's fine. I can double block the first time flyer with the bats, and we only lose 1 bat. And the Fire Nation cadets can go down to the rest of things. The bats also can recur because of the clue token in play. The bats are on draw 2, replay them. They have a finality counter, so they'll exile on the second death, but they will come back. The bats are a more mechanical thing than a flavor thing, because these are the bats that show up in the secret tunnel. Just sort of like... get at you. Okay. Quenched? How quenched are we today? I'm gonna overload this land. Now, I could attack with that forest there. The problem I'm worrying about is that they'll have 3 cards on the crackback. I want to kind of set up for an overrun turn. They're trying to set up for a turn where they can just sneak something in and kill me, obviously. You know, kill a bat. Attack with that flyer. Get me. Yeah, maybe they're... How many lightning strikes are in their deck? Okay, I've got really bad news. I've got extremely bad news for everybody. My life total is 5. They simply... It's like block Azula and then die. They were in pre-combat because of the ability on the waterbending, keeping them priority. That was why they were like in a weird spot there. You wouldn't think they would have priority, but like this technically could convoke 3, so they could have made a mistake and lost the game. If they activated that, we could have gotten them on the most bullshit technicality in the world. Anyway, let's get cooked by Fire Nation cadets. No, Chocobo got hit by a meteor. That was such a fun game. I love playing our corrupt court official and then getting extremely hit for it. But we got rid of their effective cryptic command. You know, we got rid of the haiku. The haiku is actually a very dangerous card because it's counter draw. Like late game, that's a pain in the goddamn ass to play around. The untap doesn't really matter, but the counter draw does. Okay. We got the boulder. Okay. Are they back? First time flyer. Sure. I agree, Chocobo. Oh, discard 2, draw 2. When you cast an artifact or lesson. Oh no! Yeah, okay. Alright, Bold Boomeranger. The War Balloon. Put a fire counter on this. If it has 3 counters, it becomes a creature. 3 mana. Wow, that's really good. Also, we're getting... we're getting slightly cooked. But yeah, so this is 3 mana, turn it on, you can like fire breathe into it. Oh god. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. The boulder is conflicted. We are dead as hell. We're like super dead. We're like mega dead. We're like omega dead. Alright. I found the path. It really sucks, but we can get there. Alright. Chump block, Sokka, kill the balloon. Alright, go to 1. Don't get quenched. Or haiku. We're gonna get haiku'd. No? We go to 1, and if this dies, we die. As long as it's... Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Like, that's an incredibly good card. Not enough, but you know. Alright. Hell yeah. Love to see the, you know, here's the lesson pile of removal spells and such, and then just like, you know, God, this is good stuff too. Discard 2, draw 2. That's true. If we double blocked on Sokka, we would have killed Sokka, and then 4-3. Very good start. Happy to have that as our position on day one. Let's go ahead and get draft 2 in. The plan for starting early is draft 2. So I would love to see I want to be doing some airbending. I want to be doing some funky things. All right. I will also be right back. I know this is the easy way to cut things if I want to. I don't actually know if I want to cut these into two. I'm never certain if I want to cut videos into like one draft one video or like one stream one video. Sometimes I cut it, sometimes I don't. I'm inconsistent like that. Whatever. I'll be right back. I left myself. I did mute myself. Whoops. I did not. That was not intentional. My bad. But yeah, no. This is if we're on if we have enough lesson stuff going on, which is like a lot of things we already want to establish early. We get Double Dragon, and Double Dragon's unbeatably good. Other cards in here I like, Lightning Strike's real. Path of Redemption I think is pretty cool. We saw Boomerang Basics doing some cool stuff. We saw Zuko being pretty big. Ooh. Okay. How many 5-mana ass kickers do we want to have in the deck? 2? Is it 2? Like, this is a card that, like, is not as huge, like, as far as, like, how good it is in limited. Like, we need an opponent who's, like, doing the blue-black thing. But, like, it is a 5/5 flash, which is a type of removal spell. Fortune Teller, I think, is the other card I'd pick here. I like this setup, though. We can try to find some, like, nifty lessons to go with these. Ooh, Gran. Gran becomes tap, draw, and discard. Non-creatures cost 1 less if you're at 3 lessons. Ty Lee is also a prowess liker. Is Ty Lee more effective and limited? Ty Lee might be more effective and limited. I don't know. Grand's 1 mana, though. If we had ways to tap Grand, she's very powerful. I think it's these two. Watery Grasp is like... Sure. Ty Lee's more aggressive. I believe in Ty Lee here, actually. Jet's Brainwashing, Zuko. This is the creature can't block or threaten if you kick it and you get a clue. Take Zuko here. Fire Nation Cadets is also really on this plan, right? Like, we saw this doing its thing. Do I want to pick that? I think Zuko is the more powerful piece. But, might be better to be picking the early drops. We don't have the lessons yet. It's fine. Lightning Strike. Prowess. Parrot. Porcupine. Lightning Strike's pretty easy here. Porcupine. The blue is, right now, is an open question. We might find better things to do. Cycle Renewal isn't a reason to be moving. It says island cycling, right? That's the big fish. Ooh, okay. This is a little bit more crusted up than I'd like. Let's try and make sure that our position is ours. This is a 3-1. Jet's Brainwashing is not a lesson. Jet will not learn. I'm fine with, like, red-based aggro. Ooh. Do I want a second Zuko, or do I want, like, the snowballers? How many copies of Zuko am I fine with? I think 2 is the max. It makes me want to pick, like, more off, but I think 2 is the max I'm willing to take with Zuko. Not a lesson. You cost 100 mana. I don't want more 5s. Actually fine with Cunning Maneuver, though. Get a coin? Let's get the red aggro going. You know? What if the red aggro's real? Like, yeah, blue is, like, cool or whatever, but, like... Yuyan Archer's filters, reach, 3-1, dies to 1-1 tokens, but, like... Hopefully we have ways around that. We'll see. Again, we also can pivot on, like, a second pack, like, cool bomb. Like, just... Because, like I said, I think this is the weaker of the 2 5s. The second draw is less likely to get off. This is like a 5/5 flash that's hard to kill, which is very good, but, like, less good than double dragon. Alright. Yeah, Swamp, sure. Midgar Swarmer. Earth King Lieutenant. Scroll. Waterbending Scroll. Parrot. Lieutenant here is, like, very ally heavy. This is Thalia's Lieutenant. But, like, for allies. Tapper and an untapper? Like that or the parrot. This is technically a ramp spell. Dolly. Yeah, okay. War Balloon, Fire Sages. I like Fire Sages a lot. This is a 2-2 that really scales quickly. White Lotus, one for each planes. Whoever's playing green-white is going to be in a hell of a position. Sad to not have the War Balloon, because I think this one's actually really powerful, but I think this is a better aggressive piece. Zuko Conflicted? Hank's Journey is a lesson. Zuko Conflicted is lose 2 life and then either do one of the things you haven't done on there. One of them is like, and this is season 2 Zuko, where Zuko's kind of making choices on the run. Pick you up. I don't know if this. I don't know that Zuko's any good in limited is the problem. I'll pick up Aang's Journey. I want a couple lessons, even if they're not very great in here. Fire Nation Cadets, Fortune Teller, Treetop Fighters. Octoform might have been better than Aang's Journey. Agni Kai, this is like fight plus you get mana from the overflow. It's a funky card. It is an instant. I like the Mongoose. I don't know about the Mongoose. The cool thing about this one is that, like, you get the overflow red from it, and you get to keep it in all phases. Yeah, getting a copy or two. We need for Exile, Leaper. Leaper's water in 4, draw this card. This is so expensive. I want to have like 5 or 6 lessons, and I want them to be like smaller things. Firebending lesson. We don't have the quality on those yet. Brandon Shaw's fine, even we're just casting it as 1, but like we obviously want to try to go for hello. Alright. That's a nice payoff in this direction. I think pack 3 we're looking to try to fill this out. Ooh. Firebending Solstice Revelations is a lesson that also I think I'm gonna go with the Revelations as a... I'm sorry. Ugh. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Don't having the war... I hate having the War Balloon. Yeah, I figure that she's very strong. I just, like... That's probably me overshifted on the way that our deck is trying to go on this. But Revelations, we're, like, gonna be pretty red heavy, so this should be good. And it is an instant, so like you can use it off of fire breathing. Firebending. Firebending Ascension. Boomy Bash? You don't learn from Boomy Bash. Firebending Ascension is a 2-drop, is the trick. Most lessons we see them in green. The trick is, like, I don't want to play 3 copies of Cycle or Renewal in the deck we're building. I would love to play Iroh, though. But, like, this is pretty real. Bush. Hell yeah. Yeah, I also love that he's just Combustion Man. Has the sickest art here, too. I think I'm still gonna pick Boomy Bash. I know this is really expensive, but I think we want one of these in the deck. Can't be playing you. Waterbending Lesson. Cavalry. Target player mills XX is the number of lessons in your grave. That's very funny. Am I willing to play energy bending? Am I willing to play cycle for 2 that maybe makes Solstice Revelation better? I think I am. Okay. Happy to get Maya back in here. We passed you earlier, Firelord Zuko. 2-mana prowess triggers draw a card, I suppose, is still getting things done. Blue in here is pretty limited. Combustion Man, Fortune Teller 2. I do want one copy of Combustion Man in here. This deck doesn't have the highest. Okay, hold on, Professor. Uncle Iroh is in here as a mono red card. This deck is looking like it actually could be mono red. We'll see what it fully looks like, but I don't think that's the case. Shit. Well. I could just cut the... Cut the blue. The biggest loss, I think, is the waterbending lessons. Combustions Man. Combustions Men. I want to see what mono red looks like. Actually, I'm playing. Okay, Porcupine. Let's just put everything in there for now. Oh, this is actually the biggest loss. Right? Like the Dragonfly Swarm. 4 lessons if I'm not playing blue. That's rough. I'm really interested in the more consistent mono red deck. I'm still, like, this deck has 4 lessons in it. So, like, we're playing Ran and Shaw on 1. Could just play, like, these 3. What are we spending our firebending mana on? Most of it is stuff like the Fire Sages or a couple of activated abilities on like Ran and Shaw and Zuko. Mostly Zuko. Spend our firebending on energy bending. And 11. Playing this in a mono red deck. Alright. Let's ride. This deck is missing some of the premium lessons that we would want to be able to... Oh no! Trogdor. I wouldn't cut the dragon even if we cut the lesson stuff. Like, that just wouldn't happen because I'd still play it as a... as a normal, Alright. Grand is here. Just looting away. I actually have 3 lessons in hand. That's very funny. Okay, discard another land, draw. Alright. Fire balloon. Yep. More looting. Revelations, I think, is pretty dang good in this. The flashback will be, like, part of what we get off of a... That's so many cards in hand? Oh my god. Alright. Sure. I know that doesn't turn on the balloon, but I would much rather have the, like, this body going right now. Watch out, I might have a desperate red. Yeah, okay. You indeed have it, boss. That kill a token draw card, huh? Crew 3. Sorry. That's, okay. Okay. So Ty Lee can crew, and Ty Lee can also block effectively here. So some options available. They've been able to sculpt an incredible hand, though. I think they've looted 4 or 5 times right now. Solstice Revelation, I think, can cast anything it hits. Oof. Okay. No! We're so quenched. I can't believe how quenched we are right now. So this one feels way too obvious. I'm gonna go ahead and spend it. And I will cycle this. We can do better than a 1-drop. Well, that lets us Revelation. It's a clue, right? Yeah, that's a White Lotus tile. Looks like a pizza for a moment. Pizza. 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 Alright. Quenching. Spells are cheaper too. They get to like play everything for 1 less non-creatures because of Grand Grand. Okay. Well. Can't block. I'm sure you've got a trick, but I don't think I can afford to not play into it. Oh boy, okay. That's my entire board gone, huh? Alright. So, Aang here, this is the end of book 1, Aang. Flying Flash, Airbending, creature or spell. And then flip over to the Fury of the Ocean, 5/5. Reach, trample, pump the team. Not that they'll need to, but... You gotta stop. Do you have another quench? Well, rip. Alright. We've been extremely styled upon. More quenching. Katara here is a mirror entity? I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but, if you're not, Okay. Alright. Let's keep rolling. We don't even have, like, the Fire Nation attacked, do we? Yeah. We're good. We just gotta run them down, and we've got some powerful pieces to help. Like, few of the land cyclers and ways to get past those. Sneaky move. Okay, okay. Alright. Like my hair. Cadets is threatening, but doesn't actually have any, like... Ooh, okay. Interesting. More backing. Grandma continuing to log on. Okay, alright. Successfully read the card. Wow. I'm a little worried about that. I'm not gonna block here. I don't want to risk a trick on... Oh, we're looking for land. I see. Okay, then I need to kill Gran. 3 colors? They're splashing for Sokka. Big Sokka. And they have everything now, so... No! No, I would never! No! No, no! What? Oh, this is kind of the curse on the three-colorness of the deck. We don't have any issues with, like, you know, colors in the mana base. They're fighting for their life over here. They would not kill Grand to draw a card. And that is why they lost. Alright. Fairy fencing. It's a good looking card too. I think the set whips, actually. I think the set might actually be cool. I'm feeling it. Sopa. Agni Kai with the boar is actually pretty cute. Hello. I don't actually want to trade with that. Not cool. Ooh, this card's really, like, so this card takes a little while to get going with the back end, but the front end is really strong. Both Earthbend 2 and Grab a Land. And then once it is on, which actually comes quicker than you think, the trample on this gets a little outrageous, so. So then they do this. That land falls for the one. Okay. So we're gonna Borkipine. And then the Borkipine will get the Firebender's Ascension and the Agni Kai. If we want. And that probably. So here's the landfall for 2. Okay. Alright. Dragon for 5 is honestly fine. This also could be Zuko. The powerful thing also on the Ascension, I didn't even think about this. If I go to kill this Plains, it ramps it. Frick. Okay. Overrun's an overrun, huh? Okay. You get a card out of this? How am I getting out from under this? I need to keep Zuko. I don't quite know where I'm getting out from under this is. That prevents the card draw. Archers, I will decline. Okay. Here's the... This works. Yeah, this looks good. Then we can Agony Kai down the musicians if they don't put a counter on it. If they do, we can... Oof! +1/+0, the team... Oh, stop! Stop! you need to stop! Oh my god. Okay, alright. We are just getting run down. Alright, where are we doing any of this? Okay. Yeah, I think the monocolor is just not worth what we're doing. Is the end of the short of what we have going on here. So they get a 3-2. And now I just have the 2-2, and we are, like, just on a dragon. Try this. They can't really attack into the 4-4 currently. Never mind. I lied. They can attack very easily into this 4-4. That's not hard at all. In fact, oh, right, and we can only single block. Okay. Yeah, like, this is not a pay... The reason we're in it isn't because of the payoffs, it's because we have nothing else to be doing, is the biggest issue with the deck. Alright. The killer there is that, you know, obviously Flopsy pumps their team, but even a land gets the Ascension on, and that's the end of the game as well. Because that lets them start attacking too. Dang, okay. Like, if we go over to playing the blue, we get 4 or 5 cards. It'd be like, cut down you. I don't know that I actually believe too much in Agni Kai. Oh god, we're also including a lot of, like, just not very great cards in here because of the, like, the lesson stuff. Porcupine. Down 1 on you. Up the Dragonfly. I don't know that this is an improvement is the problem. Because, like, I'm just putting in, like, a Thraben Inspector. Add more archers. That should help. Add more archers. Ah, the Zomburger King. Okay. Ira, I'm gonna need your assistance here. We're getting so cooked by Grandma. Well, this is all Grandma all the time. Alright. Fix for mono red. They're mono blue. Ooh, that's a very good card with Grandma. Becomes a 3-power flyer if you've drawn 2 cards in the turn. Are they? I'll be very happy if our opponent is mono blue for mono blue v mono red. Two in the air? Three in the air? Three in the air? No, you're not mono blue. Okay. No. I don't think I'm spending this. I want to play Zuko instead. You can end of combat it. Alright, get quenched? No quench. Alright, let's push. Fifth land, kill spell on one of these two. Kill spell on Zuko? Kill spell on Zuko, sold out. Swamp. Okay. And Grand in, that lets him get in for 4. I'm gonna Solstice Revelation on the attack with Iroh. For sure. Okay. Yeah, and then we can play Tylee. Sure. Archers? I want to discard Zuko's... Actually, yeah, I think I can discard Zuko's Exile because we have Boomy Bash. Then we play Tylee. Then we're looking at lethal? I'm looking at killing you next turn. This is... Our opponent's at 12. We've got 10 power plus a pump spell. Plus a kill spell, plus a camp block. This looks like the end of the game to me. Hama... You have to waterbend the value of the spell. You could get Zuko's Exile for 5 and get Lightning Strike. Okay, that's actually a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's just gonna be Lightning Strike on, like, Tylee or Iroh. That one's easy. I disagree with your target, actually. I disagree pretty heavily with your target, actually. At 12. Prowess. Prowess. Hey, it even did it in the right order. They killed my Reach creature because, like, the Reach creature threatened the Messenger Hawk without realizing that the Prowess creature, is the Prowess creature. Sweet, we got out of that one. Mono Red's trying real hard. We will always Solstice into the Archers. I want to play Combustion, man. I want a Sparky. Sparky Boom Boom. Okay. I'll keep this. Finally having Round and Shaw in a hand with... Okay. Okay. Opponent's just doing Angst Journey. I want to play... my here, I think. Yeah. Because then we can Angst Journey, and, interesting. If we draw a land, we don't have to do this, but if we don't draw a land, we can, you know, do this, kind of keep pushing forward. Messenger Hawk's cool because it comes with a clue. What's the Sultai payoff? Ooh, lifelink. When you draw a second card, make a color the colorless payoff 1/1. I'm gonna archers here. Discard the Porcupine, I think. Okay. The draw 2 plan is very real. I believe in it. Like, it's because there's so many ways, like, very easy ways to get it to go, and also drawing cards is, like, a good thing to be doing. I think its biggest problem is making sure that you are, like, feeding into the board a correct amount. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have enough cards that do something. I'm gonna try to kill you. Oh no, I'm dead. Azul always lies. Alright. Well. My thought process there was that they weren't expecting me to go for the 2-for-1. This was not great. Archers? Yeah, okay. That's fine. We have enough big things that's not really a problem. Let's get another lesson in the yard so that if we draw a third lesson... We didn't have any abandoned attachment. Yeah, we... Oh god, we're getting a little smoked. At least we have the blocker on the Hawk. Okay, land 4, so we can go, like, Firebending Ascension, leave up Lightning Strike. The other cool thing about Draw 2 deck is, again, like, you're doing things you like to do because you're drawing into more action. So as long as you're able to keep the board yours, it's very effective. Help. That's not drawing 2. That's a few more than 2. Okay, well. Alright. So. That's 7. Uh-huh. Came out this week. It's been great. We've had a blast with the draft. That's a draw 7 that doesn't shuffle your hand in, by the by. And it keeps you max hand size up. So, you know. Help me out, Combustion Man. Save me. Save me, Combustion Man. Oh no! Combustion Man is getting... Shunk. Drill. Okay. I can deal with that. Nah, these are still unblockable on ones. I will trade. I kind of need to get these off the table. It's possible. We just gotta make it to next turn. It won't win us the game. It's not even close to winning us the game, but... No! We can't get there because it's trample. Frick. We were so close. I think this deck went 2 and 3, which is at least one win more than it deserved. The payoff for being monocolor was non-existent, but the payoff for the second color was also, I think, not real enough. We tried to go in on lesson stuff, but found basically none of the abandoned attachments or things we wanted. Yeah, we now know what the more valuable cards are in that. I still love the dragon. I think the dragon's cool as hell. Cards that I liked in this one a lot, from playing out this, Iroh was really great. Ran and Shaw, we didn't play Ran and Shaw, but I'm gonna give Ran and Shaw. Ty Lee! One thing that's cool about Ty Lee is that Ty Lee works with firebending, because you can firebend from somebody else and then pay it. It also does trigger on Firebender Ascension, which is cute. I think was also like a killer card. This is a card I was very like happy every time we drew. These archers are the most they're very air, but they're very good air. Yeah, I think we definitely learned some lessons from this draft. And that lesson is trust grandma. Solstice, I respect. This isn't a reason to go mono red. Anyway, we'll be having some more of this early next week. Right now, the next couple streams are actually planned to be more drafting. We're going to be getting a good amount of this in. So next week, Monday is Magic Monday, so we'll be getting more of this in. Tuesday, we are not having any trails, thanks to some travel going on, but I will still be streaming, so I'll probably get in some more of this. And then if we're still on it on Friday, like next week's going to be a lot of Magic, is what I'm saying. I might not do it on like all 3 days there. We might like keep it, like maybe do something else on Tuesday. We'll see, but it depends on my own mood. But yeah, that I'm really excited with how this played, with how our opponents are playing, with the power of Grandma getting too strong. Yeah. So, anywho, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for joining. Hope you had a fun time with this. I certainly did. If you want to catch more, you can always follow, subscribe, Cool Skulls and Slimes, Mimics and Mole Drifters. But if you're just here, glad to have you. Yeah. Anything else going on? Nah, I kind of think that's it. Thank you to Panda and Malamet for the sub. Thank you, Nub, for the raid. Appreciate those both. Yeah, so. Thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.